What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. I have not read these cards yet, but I've seen the artwork and they're beautiful. And I was also wondering how Yu-Gi-Oh! Org would take care of this because people hit me up early and they're like, there's a big problem perhaps with what you're about to read. And that's that these are Yusha tokens. And if you're a weeb, you watch enough anime, that word Yusha comes up a lot as hero. And you can't have this be a hero archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh! Most likely, so we're gonna see how this falls in. But they're gonna call them brave tokens in this translation just to avoid all the questions and that sort of stuff. So we start with Ritual of Aramesia, a normal spell card. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. You cannot activate the effects of monsters you control the turn you activate this card, except special summon monsters. So you can't even normal summon and activate something because this retroactively later checks if you've used that. It's not for the rest of the turn, it's the same turn. If you control no brave tokens, special summon a brave token, Fairy Earth, level 4, attack 2000, defense 2000. That's pretty beefy. That reminds me of the Phantasm Spirals. Then if you do not control Journey of Destiny, you can place one from your deck face up in your spell and trap zone. I'm guessing that's a continuous trap or spell. So this Ritual is not a ritual spell card, obviously normal spell, and it also limits you from normal summoning anything. It'll be interesting to see the balance of that. I always like these deck building sets. Also, to note, that would be the collector rare sets in the TCG. Konami, call me if you want those fixed, if you want to consult. I'm down for a very minimal fee to help the TCG as a whole after you've taken away those all foil sets. Magiscite, the Warrior of Ruins, looks pretty awesome. A level 4 fire warrior at 2300. Sorry, I started stumbling. A 4 warrior rotable 23, but it's probably specialing itself, right? You can only use the first and third effects of this card's name once per turn. If you control a brave token, you can special summon this card from your hand, but that's a hard OPT, so you could end up normaling it, I suppose, and then specialing another. You cannot attack if you control no brave tokens, so he's limited to needing that brave token on field, and seems like this archetype's going to heavily rely on those. If you are a monster that lists specifically brave token and its text battles, at the end of the battle phase you can set one spell and trap card that specifically lists brave token in its text from your deck to your spell and trap zone. You know what I love? Searchable traps and archetypes. Now this is battle based to get there, but you can attack pretty much anything and go ahead and get that out, so that's kind of cool. But again, you need a brave token to end up attacking. This also reminds me a little of Zhang Zhan and how they end up with a lot of tokens. That's Sword Soul coming to the TCG. We'll see continuing up if they get tuners or anything crazy like that. We have Wandering Griffin Ryder, a level 7 Windwing Beast effect monster. Attack 2000, defense 2800. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. During the main phase, if you control no monsters or you control brave token, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. So either way, it can get itself out there. It doesn't rely completely on the brave token. When a card or effect is activated and you control a brave token, quick effect, you can shuffle this card into the deck and negate the activation. If you do destroy that card, it gets itself out there with the greatest of ease as a 7. And then if you have the token, you don't get rid of the token, you get rid of itself. So this is a body on board of 2000/2800 that acts as negation to any card or effect. Wow, that's pretty good. Then we have Journey of Destiny, a continuous spell card. I again just love the art of these cards. I know it won't fully show up on screen, but it's really freaking cool. Continuous spell card that's almost like we're on an isekai journey. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. During your main phase, you can add one card that specifically lists brave token in its text from your deck to your hand, and send one card from the hand to the graveyard. So maybe there will be some advantageous graveyard effects for this, as otherwise this is a one for one in a sense in searching and puts itself out. Oh, but this is Journey of Destiny. Is that the card that ends up getting put out by this card? Yeah, that is. So the first card puts it out for free, making it no longer a -1 in order to one for one. Interesting. If a monster or monsters is normal or special summon, you can add to your hand or equip one brave token you control, one equip spell that specifically lists brave token in its text from your deck. So you can add or equip to a Brave token. Sorry, I botched that a little. So you're able to have anything that would mention a Brave token equip to a Brave token directly from deck, or choose to add it to your hand if you'd rather put it on something else. The first time your monster equipped with an equip card would be destroyed by battle each turn. It's not. That's one of those little bonus effects that actually comes into play in the grind state. But overall, a pretty great card. Balanced searching, not broken searching. Along with an ability to then also get extra pluses during the opponent's turn too, if it's a monster's normal or special, any kind of summon, and you can do this during the opponent's turn too. So maybe a little actually unbalanced if you think about it. Depends on the equips, right? Noble Arms of Light, Dano. We have a new Noble Arms card in here, okay. I'm gonna guess it has something to do with Brave tokens. Equip only to a monster you control. You can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. You can only control one Noble Arms of Light, Dano. The equipped monster gains 500 attack for each card you control with different names that specifically list Brave tokens, thus listing Brave tokens. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target a Brave token you control, equip the target with this card, Recursion. So that is pretty cool, which means you would probably not want that not on the Brave token, or they might end up, you know, going after the Brave tokens in a sense. Alright, we have Starlit Papillon. Yo, that archetype has not been seen in some time. An equipped spell card, equip only to a monster you control. So they're meeting all these other archetypes on their journey. Lore, hello. You can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. You can only control one Starlit Papillon. Monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack for each card you control with different names that specifically list Brave tokens in the text. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Brave token you control, equip it to the target. So this is one of those cards that really matters against the opponent on being able to zap them of strength as they're summoned, and there's other interactions that may come into that. And then your monsters get much bigger. This specific monster will get much bigger, helping you for OTK dynamics, I suppose. I like this one a lot more. All monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack. Yeah, that's pretty big. We have Curio Dracoback the Dragon Steed, equip spell card you can only control, equip only to a monster you control. You can only use the second and third effects of this card's name once per turn. You can only control one Dracoback, so they're not allowing you to stack all of these equipped spells multiple times or anything crazy. While this card is equipped to a non-effect monster, you can target one card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. That's kind of crazy. That's still targeting removal, but it bounces. That's a really good option for the deck. I'm really liking where this is going. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target a Brave token you control, equip the target. All recursive, but you want it to start on a non-effect monster. Zara the Dark Temple. Field spell card. Why is there two pictures? While you control a monster equipped with the Noble Arms of Light, Dano, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects during the battle phase. Once per turn, when your Brave token destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can inflict damage equal to the monster's original attack. That's a second field spell right below. I can barely see more than you guys, but there's another field spell. Okay, interesting. And then third effect, once per turn, if you activated this card's second effect this turn, you can add a field spell that specifically lists Brave token and its text from your deck to the graveyard, except for Zara the Dark Temple, so you can search the other field spell. Wow, that came in at the same time. So you're able to search another field spell. This card's third effect was incorrectly shown as having no limitation on how many times it could be activated during a turn. Its text was updated in the news page and is shown in this errata page. So basically, there's a hard OPT on the, well, not hard, it's still a once per turn clause on the third effect. But wow, so you can search a field spell as long as you've activated this destruction. A lot of battle destruction reliant effects, though. Maybe a going second deck. I don't know about going second decks like this, though. We'll have to see. It has a lot of control aspects. Your monster equipped with Starlit Papillon are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. Okay, that's pretty nice. Once per turn, when your Brave token destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you get to draw a card, so a plus to replace. Once per turn, if you activate this card's second effect this turn, you can add a field spell that specifically lists Brave token in its text from your deck or graveyard to your hand hand, except the Forest of Lost Flowers. So except for itself as well, with a once per turn same note. Now we get to the traps that are also searchable here, if you recall. Thunder Discharge, a normal trap card. You can activate one card with this card's name per turn. If you control a Brave token, target one of your monsters equipped with an equip card that specifically lists Brave token in its text. Destroy as many monsters your opponent controls with equal or lower attack as possible. And you remember those effects, draining and giving attack. Then you can equip one equip spell that specifically lists Brave token from its text from your hand or graveyard to a monster. So not from the deck, but you do get to start off taking out. You target one opponent's monster, take it out, and then you get to, in theory, get another replacement for itself that was in the grave. Resurrection of Breath. Okay, I thought it was Recursion Breath, but it's Resurrection Breath. Normal trap card. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. If you control a Brave token, special summon up to 2 monsters with different names from your hand and or graveyard, but banish them if they leave the field. Then you can equip one spell card that specifically lists Brave token in its text from your hand or graveyard to an appropriate monster. My main concern, because that's the last card besides a reprint, is how many cards are actually giving you Brave tokens so far. And I feel like that answer is not quite enough yet. You have all this, if it listed, if it does this, but you need those Brave tokens specifically. And I feel like we need more Brave token generators. And this is a non-searchable piece here. I feel like it needs more of that. Like all the Zhang Zhans instantly create you tokens. We need a little more of that in here, I'm feeling like, unless I'm missing something on my initial review. But so far, a very hopeful future. And I assume we will get her on a card as well soon. So I look forward to that, and hopefully she generates tokens for you as well, as it looks like she may be doing. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation and a look at these cards. I really do think the Brave token archetype, or however it'll be called, Yusha, will end up pretty nice, and I feel like I would watch an anime based off of this just looking at the art. It's really freaking cool. I definitely would probably watch an anime based off this. Yu-Gi-Oh! Come on, get into it. Dual terminal lore, things like this. Just create one-shot episodes around the archetypes even. Go for your adult audience. It would be so cool to see, but it probably won't ever happen.